We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder. Zach is on vacation, so I'm replacing one Jew face for another. Enter Ron Kaz. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Doc? I know I can't call you that. I'm sorry. I'm great, Alan. How are you?
I'm doing great. I do appreciate that you put your name here as one word, Ron Kaz.
That's who I am on this. When I'm listening, I'm always Ron Katz. That's it. So there you go.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays we do it live. Saturdays we post it later. People are telling a friend, share the episodes. We're getting some love. We're on different platforms. People, wherever you're watching this, just go ahead, hit the like, hit subscribe, download us, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're coming up to our 200th episode, which I may wet myself. I don't know how I'm going to celebrate, but we'll do something fun for that. We have a great episode planned for today. I am very excited to get through this. Ron Katz is our number one fan, so I don't think I need to explain anything. So let's just get into the show. Ron Katz, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
Well, after a couple of weekends ago when I was getting a lot of grief from Alan and Zach, justifiably so, I was out at my brother's drinking from Barry Katz Back of the Fridge Brewery, some really old stuff from, put it this way, not this year. I decided to go out and treat myself to a Brooklyn lager, of course, the amber lager, because, you know, reds and ambers are the only way to go. So that's what I got here. What is it? 6.6, I think, %. So 16 ounces of this should do me fine.
Love it. Would you care to ask me what I'm drinking? Come on.
Oh,
man.
and what are you imbibing? What is it that's just tickling your tonsils today?
I appreciate you doing your best Zach Elias impression because he generally just rambles that I'm like, he goes, E2, like, what are you drinking? Like, I care. I'm curious how this is going to go. This is another one of my holiday 4-packs that I gave to my buddy Stevie, founded in Asbury Park by local musicians and beer freaks. Asbury Park Brewery Dragon Juice. Like the hammer of the gods, Dragon Juice comes from the dragon's part. Classic New England style IPA is 8% alcohol, so I am going to see how this
You'll
goes.
be pretty shicker by the end of the night. Yeah, 8%. What's dragon for you anyway? But
Release the Kraken! Cheers, buddy.
There we go.
Thanks for filling in to me. You know, you had told me when we had talked about your travels that your brother, Bearcats, is a big Corona guy, and you gave him a lot of shit. Now,
yeah,
I have a problem with that for 2 reasons. One, I love Coronas. I'm actually getting into like a Mexican lager with sea salt is just fantastic.
Drink Dos Equis.
No, I want more the clear bottle, you know, because the clear bottle actually does something to the beer where I think we talked about this on air, but have you ever had a Yingling in a can? It's far better because the green bottle doesn't preserve beer as well. And at the same time, Corona in a can is horrible. Absolutely horrible.
You remember, I got you some stuff from Broken Bow Brewery up in Westchester. When I lived in Westchester, I went in there. Broken Bow is actually the name of a town out in Nebraska. And this family moved here to the East Coast, and the guy's hobby was making beer. And then he lost his job. He moved here for the job. They lost his job. You can figure out how I met him.
Oh, yes. By the way, check out our back catalog. Ron, the HR guy, episode 30. Great episode.
Like that. Yeah. So he started making beer full time. And then his wife was helping him and his kids. And he opened up Broken Bow Brewery, BOW, with the slogan, if it ain't broken, don't drink it. And that was the stuff that I got you a few 6-packs of.
Didn't you get me a few 6-packs? You got me, I think, 2 4-packs, maybe.
Maybe it was 2 4, something like that.
It was good. Now, I do have to make a confession about Coronas. I don't know if anybody knows this, not even my roommate. This may be early Can for P should do, pretty much because I'm super lazy. I have decided that just going out and getting limes is more work than I want to do. Even when I am staying home and having anything that requires lime juice or a fresh lime, I have the biggest bottle of lime juice that I keep in the fridge. And I will have a Corona. I will then take the lime juice and go glug glug. And Is that bad or resourceful?
Bad.
It's bad, right?
Well, okay, but what's worse, if you had one of those little plastic limes and you just
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't do that because I actually looked at the cost of it and it's just way cheaper to get the bigger
oh
one.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And here's, all right, help me out. Riddle me this.
Yes.
You're a doctor as much as I am for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah, right.
Lime, sweetness, and whatever you're going to do. I have 2 bottles of each, 0 calories, 0 sugar. How is that a thing?
Fructose, I don't know. Fructose doesn't have calories.
Fructose?
Fructose. What? How are you? I only know lactose. Okay. No, dextrose. That's another one.
Right.
I hated science. That was absolutely my second worst subject. Go ahead. Ask me what was my worst. Everything else.
Oh, here we go. Recess and Jip, the 2 good ones.
No, I sucked at those too. I was little. I was a runt growing up.
I believe that. Well, you made up for it in life, right?
I did. I caught up. Had a late growth spurt.
Episode 194. Calling this one The Next Generation. We will not be talking about Star Trek, but Ron and I clearly have a big generational gap between us. And where I used to be the young guy and things, I mean, I remember forging my parents' signature to play adult hockey because I wasn't old enough. I'm the guy now, when I play a team, it's generally like, hey, what year were you born in? And they go 2000. I'm like, I don't finish the sentence. I don't want to hear the rest of it. So you and I have enough age different stuff that I'm starting to reach that where like, I remember when.
Yeah, you'll have, yeah.
Oh, it's getting really, really bad. And there was just a couple of things that I wanted to talk about where generational differences. Now, this has come up recently a couple of times because my buddy Stevie, he just told me his son, by the way, happy going back to school for everybody, like my sister, Shelby,
Next
people
week.
who are. So Stevie's telling me like, oh, I bought my son, I think he's 9 now, a bunch of jerseys as like a new going to school. I was like, oh, cool. Which ones did you get? Assuming it would be Yankees or Knicks or Giants, which are his 3 favorite teams. And he again goes, I got a John Morant jersey, who's a Grizzly. He goes, I got a Jamar Chase for the Bengals. And I was like, wait, what? He goes, dude, those are his favorite players. And this also came up in another conversation where somebody started saying, but I don't know what the Yankees are doing right now, but not having a good week.
8 is enough, as the TV show used to say.
So I'm texting my buddy out in Seattle who's a diehard Yankees fan, and we're on a group chain, and I was like, how is your son doing? Because his son is a huge, huge Yankees fan, or at least we thought so. It's like, do we need to take his shoelaces away? And he goes, you'd be surprised that he's more into Judge than he is into the Yankees. And the same way, he's more into Ohtani than he couldn't care less about the Angels and Corbin Carroll because Corbin Carroll went to the same, I think, Little League program or something. So my buddy's kid has like 3 favorite players. And I'm starting to pick up on this generational difference. And I'm curious of your thoughts. People caring more about players than teams?
I think so. My day, well, first of all, the players didn't change. I mean, because before free agency, you were locked into a team forever. But it was in the 70s, people started rooting for the laundry. It was the uniform. I mean, anybody. I mean, like, I was a huge hockey fan too. Growing up, I could tell you everybody on the Rangers. Couldn't name 3 players. Henrik Lundqvist is gone. I'm sunk. I got nothing. I would still watch it.
Do you pick it up in the playoffs, you're saying, or you're just like, I don't care anymore because the players change too much?
I can't keep track of it. It's just all the players change so much. They move around. And basketball's worse. Basketball is worse because they're basically picking their own teams now of who do you want to play with.
It's true.
So, yeah, I think that, I mean, this is why you could name that because you changed maybe 1 or 2 players a year. At least for the Yankees, because they were winning. But through the 60s, after 1964, then the Yankees were a revolving door like everybody else. And that's when you started rooting for the laundry. I mean, Horace Clarke, second baseman for the Yankees in the latter half, until Thurman Munson came along, Horace Clarke was the best player on the Yankees, and he was a .270 hitter.
That's a lot right now. So
well, yeah.
What are your thoughts? Are you like, I don't want to say, are you okay with this? Or like, are you into it? Do you get it? Like, what do you think?
I like it when they say, I was so pissed when Andy Pettitte left because he was a Yankee. He never should have gone to the Astros. I don't care if Houston's your hometown and you were pissed at the Yankees for some. Everyone's so touchy. They insult, like you insulted me, you dissed me. I'm taking the next best nickel. And no, I hate that. I want people. I love that the core four or the Fab Five, whichever, when they decide to include Bernie, the core
Never.
four.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah, it's not gonna. Although it's very fun. The Yankees just called up a whole bunch of kids today.
I saw that. They're all trash. Don't get too excited.
I'm not. Other than Volpe, who, by the way, I love Volpe. Terrific. Volpe, a rookie, 22 years old, is leading the Yankees in RBIs this year. 50.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
All right. Before we lose anybody more with Yankee talk here, so that was another.
How are the Orioles doing this year?
Dude, every pitch. You have no idea. I know screen time is bad for little kids. We watch the games together, and I'm like, I don't care. I hope he gets brain cancer from watching the Orioles win the World Series.
That is
okay.
Good.
I actually don't, but you know what I mean.
Yes, and you have to start breaking him in early. I was 5 years old. My brother told me we're Yankee fans. I said, why? He punched me in the arm. He said, because we're Yankee fans. I had a choice to keep getting punched in the arm or say, yeah. That's when I became a Yankee fan. I was 5 years old. I had no idea what we were talking about.
Love it.
And the other drinking a Brooklyn beer. Give me a break.
The other big generational thing that I don't know if I've ever said this to you or at least on this podcast, but now my lines are every generation thinks that their music was good and the one before them stunk. Okay. So growing up, with me, my dad has that where he's like, oh, 50s music is good or anything after certainly is no good. Right. But then for me, I like the 50s. I like the 70s. I like the 90s. Even into the 2000s. I don't know what's going on with music these days. I was just at kickboxing and they play this music and I'm sitting there going eat my what? Like a fish stick? What the hell are they talking about?
The 50s music was good.
Okay.
But really, it was lyrics-wise, it sucked. But it was great music. The 60s, that's what I grew up with. The 60s, early 70s.
But you're going to lose this because you're going to eventually come to the 90s and go, it wasn't good. And I'm going to be like, no, 90s music is fantastic.
No, it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't. It was crazy. Better than late 70s. When disco, please, no. The thing that made 90s music fantastic was 80s music.
I disagree. The fact when they took away the synthesizer and put in grunge and guitar, again, this is a generational thing, but even my nephew who's 11, he'll be like, hey, have you heard this song? And he'll put on something. I'm like, yeah, dude, that was from when I was in high school.
Yes.
Come on.
When my kids are all closer to your age. When they discovered Bo Rap, as they call it, it's like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
yes.
Bo Rap.
And it's like, excuse me, mine. No. Queen was ours.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of that with the generational stuff. So anyway, those were two things that I kind of thought about these next generation. But the other thing that I'm noticing, and we talked about this a little bit last night with you and I, Ron Katz, you are living your best life right now. Go ahead and preach. Honestly, people between saving money or not planning or whatever it is, I hope that everybody in this world gets a summer like your and your beautiful wives 2023.
Yeah, this year worked out way better than
from the get-go, by the way. January on.
Oh, yeah, that was a good, been a little bit of travel. Got a few stamps on the old passport this year. Absolutely, yes. What were we down in Cancun? Something. I can't remember what.
Yeah. I
was drinking a lot that weekend, so... people kept bringing me beverages on the beach. But this summer, I absolutely said it. I said, I have worked since I was 15 years old. I mean, on the books. And even then I shouldn't have been on the books. Like you forged your parents' signature. Yeah. To get, I lied. You had to be 16 to get working papers in New York State. I started working when I was 15. He just slipped me an envelope of cash once a week. And that's, summers through school, the whole bit. This summer, I said, I took a month off, 4 weeks in a row. First time ever. I had 1 year when I worked at the bank, and I had 5 weeks of vacation, and I took 5 days off. Everything else, I was finding other work to do. So you reach that point where it's like, yes, we went to Sicily for 2 weeks. Sicily was, yeah, absolutely, yeah, had the best cannoli in the world. Cannolo, because I
Rita did, you mean?
right. Yeah, she did too. She actually, oh, you're going to pay for that one. Not from me, by the way. But no, there's a monastery, or it used to be a monastery in Palermo, and they had been making cannoli for 700 years.
They finally finished it after 700 years?
Yes, they finally perfected the recipe. Best cannoli you will ever have. It was incredible. And then we went to the other side of the island visiting. She still has family there. They live in the same house where her grandfather was born in 1875. That's how they do things over there. Beautiful. So then Sicily, then better than having a country place of your own is
going to somebody else's.
Having friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't buy a pool. Have a friend that has a pool.
Exactly. Yes. For the 3 of the last 4 weekends, we were away. Went up to the mountains, to the lakes, went up to the mountains in Massachusetts, went out to the beach. Thank you, Barry. This is a real beer.
Beautiful.
But you got to do that. You have to at a certain point, and then I come back and I went to work.
Yeah, but you're going to do this again next year or 2 years or something. You're going to keep this train moving.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's called the back nine.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, well, yeah. That look, I haven't played golf since I was about 19 years old, but I know what back nine means.
I thought it meant your back was bothering you.
Yeah, no, not since I worked with this terrific physical therapist.
Don't know a guy. Meanwhile, shout out to the Simon Schnitzers and Samanda. People joining the live podcast. It's always so much fun.
Oh yeah, I can't believe happy belated birthday, Tanta Marlene. Sorry, I know
she should be counting her days. She's going to be seeing me in a couple of weeks. Get to see the kid. It's going to be. Ooh. We have the whole mishpucha coming for Rosh Hashanah.
Oh my! You're hosting?
Get the fuck out of here! No, we're going to.
Oh, okay. That's it, because that's really dumb. It's like
today's Shelby's birthday.
No, last thing you want when you have a newborn in the house is all the family descending there. Other than the bris, maybe that's the only time. Do you have a bris?
No,
not you personally.
Oh no! We had the doctor do it at the hospital just to take care of it nice and easy. And
smart.
I don't know the next. Oh, Shelby's birthday's tomorrow. Thank the Lord. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot his birthday. But
okay, happy birthday tomorrow, Shell.
Cannolis.
Yes.
I went to my live fantasy football draft. We're going to be talking a little fantasy football next week, at least.
By the way, fantasy football is the other thing that screwed up allegiances, because everybody was rooting for the player instead of the team because of all the fantasy
always
sports.
Root for Ravens, my fantasy team. And then just because I have a couple of fantasy teams, so I generally have a rooting interest or betting interest in just about every game, but I'm never going to be like, all right, I need Joe Burrow to throw a touchdown, but then the Ravens still win by one. Like, no. Ravens. Like, that's my thing.
You got to.
We did a live draft where, put the stickers on the board and everything, which it's always fun to do every now and then. After the first couple picks, you're like, oh my God, get this over with.
Yes.
But I don't like going empty-handed. And my one buddy who threw it, shout out Billy, drove up to Montclair, and we did this whole live draft. He's like, oh, I got food. I got hamburgers. I'm like, I'm not coming empty-handed. So we took Milo for a walk the other day. There's a local bakery, and then where I am at the beach, by the way, it's not a walking town by any stretch, but there's a huge plaza like right on the next block. Beautiful bakery. I go in there. I was like, I was going to get some cookies or something. I'm not really a big sweets guy. And the only thing I could really look and find, I was like, oh, they have like little mini cannolis. You know what? It's cheap. It's easy. Beautiful. So I go in and I said, how many cannolis come to an order? The lady goes, we sell them singular. So tell me how much you want. I said, well, is there a deal if I get a couple? She goes, no, they're $2.25 a piece. I was like, oh my God. By the way, we're talking like $2.25.
Yeah, the mini cannolis. Yeah.
So I said, what's a normal order for a group of like 6 guys? She's like, I don't know, like a dozen or so. And then I almost asked a baker's dozen, but there was a line behind me. So I said, let me not do that. And so we get the order going. She goes, Do you want powdered sugar? I'm like, put on half of them. Okay. Then, do you want sprinkles on your cannoli? And I thought to myself, sprinkles? Well, I don't think sprinkles.
This is not an Italian bakery.
I think it may have been, but I said, why would you put sprinkles on a cannoli? She explains, well, normally you put pistachio on a cannoli, but we don't have that. So for basically to save posterity, we put green sprinkles on the cannoli, which I was like, that is the stupidest.
Oh my God. No.
Could you also do it on half of them for me, please?
Like, you didn't.
At the people I was with, nobody. Yeah, D'Amico's house I was at, he didn't know or care.
He's not really Italian. I don't care.
He's D'Amico,
the best. You're not Italian. No. The ones that we had in Sicily, one side is dipped in crushed pistachio, the other side is dipped in chocolate chips, and those are the only things. And by the way, if you're doing it for the next day, don't do the powdered sugar. It won't even be there the next day. It'll all be absorbed.
Yeah, I didn't take.
I'm sorry. It says Ron Katz, 45 years with that Sicilian in the other room. I can tell you a lot about it. Yes.
The spicy meatball.
Hey, be careful there. She'll kill you in your sleep, make it look like an accident.
Look, I was bringing these to a place, so I don't know what happened to them. I took some of the spicy chicken tenders home. That was my contribution to it. So I just thought the cannoli thing was kind of funny. Yeah. Ron, I don't have to explain anything on this show. So I guess
I've seen it once or twice.
I guess I'm just curious. Are you jerky? Are you feeling quirky? Do you have something that piqued your interest in the last week?
I was looking for something. I said, I think I am the jerk. I couldn't find. I mean, other than
not a single story in the news that you were like, oh Jesus, Fukushima, what'd you do?
No, the only thing, and you sank my battleship last week. Just what they've been doing out in Maui. I mean, at least one guy had the decency to resign. The one who didn't think to sound the frickin' alarm.
Oh, that's bad.
That. Other than that, I was looking for a few things. It occurred to me, and let me see. When did I start looking? I don't know. About 7:45. I said, "Oh damn, I should have something jerky." I got nothing. I found, I'm the jerk here because I didn't prepare enough for that.
That's okay. You know what? You always have a place in my heart. So
I did prepare my trivia for you. I'll do that later.
We got some trivia I'm excited for. So then moving on to the next session. Hey, Ron Katz, what you watching?
Actually, I just finished the second season of Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh my God. That's also what you're watching.
Yes. It's where are you so far?
Okay, we're like 2 or 3 episodes in, and I give that show
no. Did you?
Can we just? No, I've seen 2 or 3 episodes. I'm in 3 episodes into the first season, and I am going to keep watching because we have nothing else until football starts. But can we just tell everybody a little bit about it? Which is the first thing is, why is it called the Lincoln Lawyer?
Yeah, because he drives a Lincoln.
His shtick is he does his best work being driven around in a Lincoln. That is the dumbest fucking premise for a show.
Well, he wasn't being driven around originally, but he carries all his files in the back of the Lincoln, which is why he needs this stupid the thing you want to poke holes in it. He's got 2. He's got the big 1960s Jew canoe with You've heard the expression, it's powder blue convertible, and then he's got the navigator. Well, where are your files? They're in the back of both cars, so we got a problem there. But they just keep fleshing it out with the driver. Now he sits in the back. He used to be.
All right, I'm 3 episodes in. Be careful now. Okay. So we're gonna keep going
into season 1.
To season 1. We're just getting it going. My issue with this show is it was another Shelby and Andrew recommended show. This show should be on USA. Like, it suits. It's a procedural.
It was a movie. Look, it's better. This guy's better than Matthew McConaughey, who I can't stand. There was a movie, The Lincoln Lawyer. Originally, there was a movie called The Lincoln Lawyer.
Wait, was it the same shtick? He also had to be in a Lincoln?
Yeah.
All right, I feel less bad making fun of it, though.
I'm sorry. Matthew McConaughey they were driving the Lincolns off of the cliff. I mean, it was terrible. But that movie, and then the other thing, because you're right, it's a wasteland out there right now. Okay, this comes with an explanation. Madam Secretary, we never watched it when it was on. but it's on Netflix. Tia Leone is my hall pass. So
She also lives next door to you.
she lives in the Upper West Side?
Oh, yeah.
I got to go.
Wait, Lincoln Lawyer? They made a book out of that, your wife says? Good for her. Good for them. All right.
No, so we're watching Madam Secretary. That's the other thing we're watching.
Next Generation, episode 194.
Yeah.
This is the original generation right now.
We're going way back. We've tried a bunch of things. I tried a thing called Fisk, which is an Australian TV. It's this woman gets divorced, goes back to being a lawyer. It's supposed to be a sitcom. Best thing about it is it's 30 minutes long. So if you want to watch
that always helps sometimes. And you're just
it's over quick. And
that's my argument for, like, I just found out Abbott Elementary is coming back. It's not great. It's inner city, The Office at a school, but it's 20 minutes. It's 20-minute episodes.
I hate those mockumentaries. I could never watch The Office or no.
Oh, do me.
Go ahead. And what are you watching?
No. I said Lincoln Lawyer. We're done with that. So fleshing out something that we talked about before we went live. Ron, that's what she said. TWSS.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta be honest. I've never heard. Actually, maybe I heard it like it kind of was gaining some steam. And then if you said to me, "Give me the origin of TWSS," I would say The Office, like Michael Scott. You're telling me that they've been using this since the Reagan administration?
Since the Carter administration. I did Summer Stock a million years ago, 1977. The tech director, Master Carpenter, was a total gross asshole. And in Summer Stock, there are people who were working there, like me. I was the electrician. He was the Master Carpenter. And we have a bunch of interns, unpaid help, mostly college students, a lot of cute theater girls who want to be in the theater. So, yeah, exactly. But they're working in the shop. They're building sets. They're running lights, doing things like that. And this guy is gross. Everything that anybody said, and you're in a room full of tools, let's not
No matter
forget.
what it was like, really, like carrots and peas for dinner. That's what she said.
Yeah. What should I do with this screwdriver? That's what she said. Should I hammer this? That's what she said. And this guy, 1977, to the point where the girls got together, the young women got together, they bought a T-shirt. It said TWSS. Yes.
All right. People might blow my mind. I didn't think that was original. I just was like, all right.
Well, here's the other thing, Alan. You didn't invent sex. It was happening before you.
It's happening after me too.
Well, yeah, not so much for you now, but that gets better too. And the kid gets older; he'll sleep through the night again.
All right, so you're all caught up on the episodes. So we kind of invented a new segment last night, or we kind of invented a new segment last week. We're calling HIPPAnonymous, where basically something that happened in my doctor life where this one's not even that bad.
Oh yeah, HIPPAnonymous. Okay. I love it.
This tickled me, and it's kind of stupid. Is I had a patient this past weekend. I went to her home. She had a left knee replacement. She was in a bad place, a lot of pain. And all I'm saying to her is, bend your knee. And she's just like, ow. She goes, oh, fuck. And I turn and my joke back in the day when I worked in a Jewish neighborhood, I said we have an oy vey jar, which I would have made a lot of money from that. And then people say that she swears, and I turn to her and I go, oh, should I put a quarter in the swear jar for you? And she turns to me dead in the eyes, and with pain, she goes, the fucks are free in this house. I was like, oh, I've known this lady for 15 minutes. I was like, that. I said, can I use that? She's like, yeah, all the fucks are free.
You have a song for you. You must have heard the song "I've No More Fucks to Give."
Yes.
I think I know that that's her theme music.
It was really funny. I'm never seeing her again. It was just an evaluation, and I'm never seeing her. But just like, fuck.
Yeah, I can't imagine
more than once. Then she would say something like she would curse again, and I was like, there she goes. Fucks are free. It worked for me.
That's a good phrase. The fucks are free around here. Yes.
Fucks are free around here.
Absolutely.
It was good.
Yes. And it's funny because I can't do HIPPAnonymous, but knowing the work that I do in human resources, there are things I can't tell you either. But I am collecting. I have a list of things that I wish I could say to people. And the list is titled, I Think I Know Why You're Still Unemployed. Oh, yes.
P should do of the week.
He should do of the
Podcast.
week.
I have
many?
9 candidates for you. Let's blow through these.
I gotta write these down. Okay.
We'll go over. I'll give you a recap at the end, my friend.
I'm older than Zach. I'm not gonna remember. Go ahead.
Candidate number 1. Heard a great interview with Tyreek Hill, wide receiver for the Dolphins. He was with the Chiefs. Fantastic player. One of the best wide receivers right now in the game. Who said, and I quote, the night before a game, he goes on to Madden and plays with the other team so he can scout the players' levels of how fast they are, their awareness, and how they play. And you're thinking to yourself, like, that is ridiculous. But he's going, well, first off, he's fantastic. He's going to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
1, he has a scouting division that he can just say, like, tell me everything you know about them. But the fact that he does this and he gets his information from Madden, I don't know what to make of this.
I would say that he's going to be getting an endorsement deal. He wants to be on the cover next year.
Still a Madden curse. I don't know about that.
True.
Second candidate, I think you'll like this one. Some country singer lady, I don't know. She wrote a song, I think that she just released, about a boyfriend from Boston who broke up with her. So what she did was, to get some popularity, and we're talking about it, but I'm not going to give her a shout out on her name, she bought a billboard in Boston that said, I hate Boston.
Well, there's a lot of people who hate Boston. I mean, I think
on this call right now,
maybe she should have put that up in the Bronx, and everyone would have cheered.
But it got more press for the people. Would you rather be loved or hated? She got more press for people hating the sign and getting really upset about it. So,
all right, it's still a douchey move.
It is a little bit douchey, right? Next candidate. I meant to bring this up last week and I forgot. Do you know what Guitar Hero is?
Yeah.
You're also in the old camp that I am, where it's cooler to play the song on a guitar than it is to play it on Guitar Hero itself.
Well, yes, because you can play guitar.
Pretty well, if I might say so.
Yes.
There's a guy who played Guitar Hero Freebird solo on 3 times speed perfectly. And it went viral from this guy being the best Guitar Hero guy. And I just thought to myself, dude, you need a life.
Yeah. That's
Freebird.
true.
I mean, Freebird is one of those, when you first get a guitar, you're like, and you pick it up, and it's one of those like Stairway to Heaven. You got to play it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy,
Smoke on the Water.
Hero,
yeah,
I did watch it, and it was. I don't want to say impressive. It was one of those things that I was like, I'll never be able to do that. It is a skill, but like, I don't know how many girlfriends he had in high school.
Yeah, really, or will have. Yeah,
not great.
No.
You see what your boy, Zach's boy, Pete Alonso did this past weekend?
No.
I
don't watch that team.
Playing against the Cincinnati Reds. New guy got called up, Mason Wynn. He's a thing or something. First hit, I don't know how Alonso got the ball. Maybe he got the hit, the ball gets back to Alonso. Kid's first hit in the major. Alonso chucks the ball 10 rows deep into the stands. Now, that's a douchey move. He felt very bad for it, and he ended up giving the guy something. It was a bat.
This wasn't the fake shit that they do. Invariably, you see that they got this whole thing. It's very choreographed, where the ball is thrown into the dugout. Someone comes out, and he's got a ball in his pocket, and he catches the ball, does a quick switch, and he throws a ball, and this rookie is on the first base, freaking out. It wasn't the ball. It was just a batting practice ball.
I like that better. This was someone from the opposite team. I just want to know, why did Alonso chuck the ball into the stands? Like, just roll it. It was kind of stupid for me.
I'll bet you got to go back and check the tape on that. If he really did that, that is really low.
He did, but then he realized afterwards what he did. He didn't do it on purpose. I followed the story. Next candidate. Little League World Series is going on. I've seen all of 4 minutes of highlights. Some little kid, I don't blame the kid, I blame the coach, got up and did full crouching batting position and had the pitcher try to throw strikes to him.
That's the game.
Oh, that's
what? So
all right. That's baseball, Susan. That's what we're doing with this one.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he was a little kid and he just went really low, or was he trying to get hit?
Nuts to butts. No, he put his ass on the floor in a full squat to make a 0 strike zone.
Oh no, no. You know what? I'll blame the coach on that. The coach is the piece should do there. The coach made him do that probably because he knew the kid couldn't hit. I know that. I was that kid. When I got sent up to bat in Little League, the coach would call me over and he'd go, lean in. Yeah, lean in. This pitcher's wild.
Next
It's the only way
candidate.
I was getting on base.
There's a TikTok trend. I don't get this. I don't know why people are doing this. I couldn't do this in a million years, where the mother or father, I've only seen mothers do it. They're sitting and they're taking some eggs, and they have a young kid, young enough that they can hold their head up, which is not where my son is at, and they crack the egg on the kid's head and then put it in a thing. And it ends up the kid is like not in pain, but in shock of like, what? Because like cracking an egg, it's not really painful,
Doesn't
but
hurt. Yeah.
it doesn't hurt, but it's more like a. And then the kid ends up like kind of crying because they don't know what happened, and you record the whole thing. It seems like borderline child abuse to me.
Here, I thought Pete Alonso was going to be the P should do. If these moms are doing this,
Oh, it's huge trend on TikTok. Really
okay.
bad.
Oh,
Keep going. You brought up Maui. Now, I know which side of the aisle you sit on, so I'll tread lightly here. But your boy Joe Biden finally made it down to Maui to
Yep.
help with all the stuff there. Did you see he got caught falling asleep in one of the? He was sitting there watching the. It was such a bad look, which like again, and no matter who always blew, but you just see him and he's just slowly doing the like falling asleep. Like, he needs to have. Why does he? You know who the piece should do is? Who is not sitting there with like a zapper being like zzz, every time? Just
or giving him a 5-hour energy before any time. But
I mean, say what you want about Trump. We all know he's on drugs that keep him all fucking wired. Like, it's well known that guy is on all the cocaine or Adderall and or speed.
Everything.
Like, the fact that Biden fell asleep during this thing, I was like, oh, Joe, come on, man. Come on. Somebody wake him up.
Boring is better than nuts.
I get it. It was just one of those things I was like, I can't believe it. Like,
and again, the P should do with the AIDS. You're right. It's like
someone's
definitely got to be responsible. Something, a hairpin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
AIDS and the AIDS is always a bad thing. And moving on, next one we brought up the Liver King. I don't think you know who he is, but he's this jacked guy. He's an internet sensation. Big caveman. He eat liver, this and that. And turns out it came out he's on all the steroids. Well, he's been out of the limelight for a little bit, but he's back in with his new recipe on how to get big like him. It was a big bowl. I didn't get the animal, but it was raw testicles poured with milk over it, eating this diet. And he's sitting there, you got to peel back the scrotum and eat the thing. And it's so cringy. You're just like, dude, just let it go, man. Just be done, dude.
Prairie oysters? Give me a break.
But it was like, it just was sad. And then the last one was, I got invited to a wedding. I won't say whose, and I'm not going to be able to make it. So I thought to myself, like, well, at least let me look at the registry. The registry is just a honeymoon fund, which is basically saying, give us money.
Yeah.
And my friend doesn't need money. He's somebody who's well-to-do enough. I was just like, well, I actually was going to buy a gift if there was something like relatively inexpensive. Problem was I invited him to my wedding and he didn't give me anything. He didn't come and didn't give me anything. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm not giving him anything.
Get him a butter dish.
Tyreek Hill. I Hate Boston, Guitar Hero guy. Pete Alonso, Crouching Kid, Strike Zone. We have TikTok egg trend, Liver King, Joe Biden, Fallen Asleep, and the wedding registry, all cash. Who is the Pete should do of the week, Ron Katz?
Well, like I said, Pete was right up there until I heard about the moms with the eggs, which really, I mean, kids' skulls
it's not scarring the kids. They're really okay. It just was really weird. Man.
You know what? No, but someone's going to play that back for the kid in like 5 years, and it's not going to be the parent. Some other kid's going to get a hold and the faces that they make. You cried. I didn't cry when I got hit with an egg. I got to go with the moms with the eggs, because the testicles guy, he's just an asshole.
That's bad. Well, that's your silver medalist. Well, then I feel bad because I have a lot of videos of my kid shitting right now where he's just sitting on me and then just goes, ugh.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah,
it tickles me every time.
I got 45 minutes of my first child, eating, cereal. It's like, I'm too bored to watch it, Yeah.
All right, Ron Katz, you got trivia. Give me some questions.
I was thinking, just because I knew we'd been talking yesterday about, this epic summer that I've been having. I've been in a lot of different places. I got 5 questions for you about the places I've been.
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know. No, we'll see. Okay, Sicily. First trip was Sicily. A lot of people know Sicily has a very famous volcano. I'll give you a few choices. You tell me which one is Is it Vesuvius?
Yes. That's the only one I've heard of. But keep going.
Etna,
Wait,
Osa. The Mount. It's either Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna, Mount Osa, Krakatoa, or Mount St. Helens.
5? No, it's supposed to be out of 4.
Out of 4? Okay. I was throwing in Mount St. Helens just to be funny because, Mount St. Helens is in the Pacific Northwest. Vesuvius, Etna, Osa, or Krakatoa?
Vesuvius.
Etna. Okay. So we're 0 for 1 out of the gate. Went out to see my brother Barry Katz. He's out at the end of Long Island there. There's a lot of towns out there with the very same names. You tell me which one is not a town.
Hyannis and Myanus are definitely.
That's you're going up to the Cape. No, we've all heard of East Hampton.
Yes.
Right. That's where Billy Joel and Jerry Seinfeld are. Right.
Okay.
So now you tell me which of these is not a town out at the end of Long Island.
Not a town. Okay.
Not a town. East Hampton,
Yes.
Southampton, Northampton, West Hampton, or Bridgehampton.
I'm going to go with West Hampton. Not a town.
West Hampton, where my brother's condo is. 0 for 2. Okay.
So which one's not a town?
There is no Northampton. There is no Northampton.
I thought I got it right.
Oh, no. Close. No.
Right.
West Hampton, formerly known as Worst Hampton because it's the first Hampton you come to, but it's really very, very nice. Dune Road is gorgeous. Okay. Went up to Lake George to visit my friend Tom. Great guy.
Hi, Tom.
Lake George is a big lake. It's like 32 miles long, but it's not a great lake.
Okay.
I wonder if you could name
4
out of 5 Great Lakes.
No, it's Holmes. It's Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior.
Woo! He's got one.
Oh, yeah. I'm like mnemonics. Gin and tonic mnemonic.
Okay. This is the one I got no hope for you here. Okay. I went up. I was in Great Barrington, which is where Tanglewood is. Okay. Tanglewood is a big arts festival, music, dance. You've heard of it. Okay.
Heard of it.
Which band, which orchestra takes a summer residence at
Trans-Siberian? That's the only orchestra I can.
Okay. Is it the New York Philharmonic?
Sure.
The New York Symphony Orchestra?
Same people.
The Boston Symphony Orchestra? Or the University of Mass Amherst Brass Band?
Oh. I mean, that's where Zach went, and he's never brought this up. But then you're going to get me. All right, UMass Amherst Band.
It's the Boston Symphony Orchestra. It's Massachusetts. Okay. So we got 1 out of the first 4. There was one other place where I was this year. Back in January.
Hey!
This was to make sure you didn't go full Allison.
Full blown. Never go full blown.
Which empire was based in the Cancun Peninsula? Was it alphabetic order here? The Aztecs, the Incans, or the Mayans?
No, I think it's Chichen Itza is just down there, right? And that was the Mayans. I'll do the Mayans.
Bingo! He's got it. Yeah. 2 for 5.
Wait, which was the question you thought I was definitely going to get?
The last one, Cancun. I figured because there's all those T-shirts, the Mayan Riviera. That's what they call it.
That's why it's called the Maya Riviera?
Yes.
Get out of town.
I was going to wear my Mayan Riviera T-shirt, but
better than that UD shirt that you wasted money on.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping Julie's watching. What can I tell you? Oh.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had a lot of fun. We had the Gigolo Beach Killer on. So Zach will be back next week from across the pond.
Thank God.
This was fun, dude. We got to do it again sometime. Good times.
Thank you so much, Alan. I'll go back next week to just kibitzing on the sidelines.
Love it, baby. See you now. We out.